Norbert, Norbert, Norbert. Norbert, Norbert, Norbert. Norbert, Norbert. Meow, 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 meow. Welcome back to another episode of Frenchie's Forge. If it's your Welcome back to Frenchie's Forge. If it's your first time here, thanks so much for coming and hanging out with ya boy, the Frenchman. Yeah, so in this episode, we're going to be continuing the EDC Dagger build, and we're going to start this episode off by showing a quick clip of trying to fix the mistake that we made in the last episode. I tried widening this thing out over the horn, and it didn't go well, but I'm going to show you the steps that I took to get it fixed, and then we're going to continue with getting this EDC Dagger finished up.
Well, I got a lot of great feedback about my voiceover style of video. So here I am, watching myself while I talk about myself, sitting by myself, by my computer. And yeah, we just making a little metal blob here. Like to do that? Oh, great job. Now, this next clip here is me using a metal rasp, y'all. And this is a carbide rasp used for deburring and removing metals. Yeah, pretty cool. As you can see, it's the perfect tool for this job. And although they are expensive, I highly recommend investing in a few for this hobby. All right. Appreciate you. All righty. Bye-bye now.
All right, now that we got this back where we needed to get it, we're going to turn our attention back to the bevels. I had to spend a little bit of time thinning out the edge in some of the spots. You can kind of see it's still a tad bit thick here in some of the spots, so I ended up moving the platen back down some to bite into the edge to thin that out. And because I did that, we now kind of have different lines in the bevels. So what we're going to do now is we're going to adjust the platen back just a little bit and kind of get it in between this angle and this angle, and we're going to smooth all this back out. And to do that, I'm pretty much just using a piece of angle iron. I'm putting it up here with my hand to keep it straight and just moving it across the belt like this. And just by doing that, it pretty much ensures that I keep this at the exact same angle every time I pull it across. So that's a really good tip and a trick, especially if you've got a platen that can tilt in, either direction. You can use that to your advantage. So let's go ahead and spend a little bit more time. We're going to re-smooth this out, and then we'll be ready to move on. I should also say, too, that as I'm pulling this across, if this is the belt, I'm really kind of pushing in rather hard here. And then as I get towards the tip here, I'm kind of pulling it back away so that I don't really dig in hard towards the tip. This is starting to get really thin, and if I were to push in too hard, it could easily overheat. And so that's something you want to pay attention to as you're doing this. You want to make sure that you're not putting too much pressure towards the thin spot of the knife. All right, so after cleaning up the bevels some and getting them back to looking good, we now have a thin enough edge to be able to sharpen this right up when we're ready to do it. I also spent a little bit of time cleaning up the weld marks around the back here. And instead of expanding this, I think we're just going to leave it be. It honestly has kind of a cool little taper just from forging it. So it kind of is thick here, and then it tapers in thinner towards the tip. And at least there's that. So I kind of like it, and I think we're going to leave it. As you can see, we have made it to a beautiful day outside. It is the weekend, finally. Thank the good Lord we're done working for the week. And as you can see, it is super nice and sunny and beautiful. It's going to be a great day. In fact, if I stop talking for a second, you might be able to hear the birds talking. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, this week has been crazy. I live in Missouri, and Missouri is known for wacky weather. And yeah, just a few days ago, the outside did not look like this. It was kind of crazy. We had a tornado, a string of terrible weather, and a confirmed tornado that was probably 10 miles away, maybe 5 miles. It was pretty stinking close, a little too close for comfort. But luckily it just kind of crapped out before it got to us. But here's a quick clip of what it looked like about 2 or 3 days ago. So, as you can see, Missouri weather is definitely wacky. And anyway, glad that it's a beautiful day outside and we have all of today to work on this blade. So I plan on getting quite a bit of work done today. I thought about the handle material and I kind of whittled it down to a couple of different things. I thought about doing some black G10 and some synthetic material, and I also thought about doing just some iron wood. Really like the look of that. I decided to use these two little slivers of G10, and they're layered G10 for kind of a camo vibe, green and black. And they're just the right size for this build. They're pretty thin, you know, compared to, let's say, this block of wood or this massive piece of G10. So I won't have a ton of waste with these, and you know, that's something to consider. If you're doing a knife such as this, and you know, maybe you want to use one of your cool blocks, like you're only going to end up with like 1/5 of the material on here, and it's just, I don't know. I think that it's a waste. So choosing the right handle material sometimes I feel like is important, unless you're going for a specific look or something. Anyway, I've got this traced out on here and just kind of put it up here and traced out the profile, and then that way we can go ahead and get these two pieces cut out, and I'll have a little sliver here to save for another build. I like to do that. I like to save all my slivers, and that way I've got more stuff to choose from in future builds. So let's go ahead and get these cut out and let's get on with it. So just like that, you get it nice and red, and then we're just going to let it slowly air cool. You can hear the water sizzling, and that's a good thing. That means that the water's doing its job and protecting the blade from overheating. Okay, so now that we have the holes drilled into the tang and we have our pins cut out and ready to go, they fit in there and just have a tiny bit of room, which is good. We are now ready to start working with the handle material that we chose and cut out. So I'm going to try something a little different on this particular setup here. Normally I would just kind of trace the profile out and work on each one individually. I think what I'm going to do this time is take some super glue and just do a couple of little dabs, stick them together and line them up good. And then as they're one unit, I can then go in and get them to match as we're profiling them out. The other part to this that I want to do is to put my maker's mark on this blade. Well, there's not a ton of options to where to put it. So I was thinking I would try something different. And what I'm thinking is, I originally thought maybe up on the blade or down low, there's just not enough room. So what I'm going to do, I don't know exactly what this is called. I'm sure somebody's done it before, but I'm calling it a window. So what I'm going to do is drill out a couple of holes here, and then we'll use a file to get kind of like a square cut out, and then we're going to grind this area smooth and then try to put our maker's mark on here, and then that way when we go to put our scales on, we'll have this cutout of a square where you can see the etched metal down below. So it's not something that I've done before, a new process, and we're going to figure it out. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so now that we let it sit in the acid for a while, you can tell it's darkened it up pretty good. And I've just sprayed it down with some Windex that has ammonia in it to neutralize the acid. Got it wiped off, and I have made this homemade little jug with rocks. These are just rocks that I found in my backyard. And we're just going to put that in there and go ahead and squirt some WD-40 into there just to lube it up. And then we're going to put the lid on and give it a shake for the stone wash. Let's go ahead and pull it out and see if we need to continue stone washing. And we do. There are some scratches in it, but not a ton. So looks like more shaking. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll cut it back on when we have it looking pretty good. Okay, so after shaking it for 5 minutes or so, we now can see what the stone wash looks like. And for the most part, it's kind of light. There's not a ton of scratches. The last one that I did had a lot more scratches in it, but it's kind of subtle, and I think I like it. Pretty random, and it just kind of gives a unique look to it. Definitely going to be a good addition for this blade. So now that we've done this, we are now ready to do the glue up. So let's get it. All right, so we made it to the end of the video. Thanks so much for sticking around if you're still watching this and making it to the end of the video. I think that this knife turned out wicked cool. Everything from the stone wash finish and acid etch there to the really cool pattern on the layer G10. It makes for some interesting lines and shapes. All the way down to the lanyard with the leftover pieces of G10 that we turned into some beads and stuck on there. Just kind of a little extra thing. I think it turned out really cool. The window idea, I wasn't sure when I first started this how that was going to turn out, but I think it's really unique and different. I haven't seen anything like that before, and honestly, there really wasn't. I could have maybe tried to fit it up here, but I personally like it. Hopefully you guys think the same. Let me know what you think in the comments. Just got this thing sharpened and stropped, and it is a paper slicing machine. There's one side. Turn it over to the other. This thing will cut paper for days. Anyway, what you think in the comments? Do you like it? Do you think some of the decisions that I made were good? Do you think I could have done better? Let me know. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Tell me. Tell me what you think. Anyway, yeah. Also, too, I wanted to say that I started an Etsy page with my wife. She makes wire-wrapped jewelry. She uses wire and then gemstones to create bracelets, necklaces, earrings, stuff for the ladies, and she does tremendous work. She's like me. She likes doing things. She's a maker. So she wanted to make an Etsy page to start attempting to sell some of those things, and I think she's going to be super successful. And because she's wanting to start the page, I thought, you know what, why not throw some of my knives on there? I have some to spare at this point. I believe this is knife number 26 that I have made. And so the first few I gave away to friends and family, but now I'm starting to collect some as I'm making them. I don't need all these knives, and you know what? Why not try to sell some? So currently on the page, the first one I listed was the Dagger. And this was made out of a metal file as well. It is a really, really cool dagger. Very long. It's got the S-guard, the bolster, the bloodwood, and a drill bit for the pommel. So you'll be able to find this thing on the Etsy page if you're interested in it. The sheath is nothing to write home about. Not super great. Leather worker. I can make a sheath. It's not the best one, but it does fit the blade, and it comes with the blade. The other one is one that I did quite a while ago, and just thought that I would get rid of this one. I really like this one. I like them all. It's gonna be hard to sell them if somebody does want to buy them, but I will sell them. This one is probably one of my favorites that I've done. It's a farrier's rasp, and I made it into just a beastly chopper. This thing, I took it out to my brother's wedding and cut firewood all weekend long with this thing. It was an absolute beast, and it is still super sharp, even after cutting all that wood. So yeah, farrier's rasp, and made the handle out of, I believe this is a maple burl, and has a really cool profile to the handle. Super comfortable, and just something that you can swing super hard. I did not make this sheath, but it just happened to fit in here pretty good. So anyway, that's another one that I have posted. And who knows, I might just throw this one on there too. If it's something that you'd be interested in buying, or you think someone might like this, let me know what you think. Maybe I'll post it on Etsy, and maybe this will be knife number 3 on there. Anyway, I plan to make more and do more build videos and potentially sell some more knives. So be on the lookout for all that good stuff to come, and really appreciate you guys watching as always, and Hope you have a fantastic day. That's it on the